Good evening, this is STV News. A big wave of the new coronavirus hit the food and drink industry, which has been in a difficult situation. Requests to review the application of the Go-To campaign, one after another, and shorten business hours. In particular, a large number of people, such as hot pots, have a big blow to the restaurant, and screams severe and how heavy it is before the time of scraping. Osaka City, where restaurants are open for short time from the 27th, in the downtown area of Kita's Blowfish restaurant, Aiji Sonezaki, sales in December account for 30% of the year. It should be filled with year-end party guests who surround the Tetcheri, but this year's reservations are less than half. It is said that the number of infections has decreased sharply in recent days. Masanobu Omiya, 45, who is in the full swing, questioned the policy that changes like a cat's eye, saying, "I will comply with the request, but I want you to consider long-term coexistence and not close the store ordered." The Tokyo metropolitan government also requested restaurants to shorten their business hours due to the unstoppable spread of the infection. The Monjayaki restaurant, Koboreya, in Tsukishima, Chuoku, is also keenly aware of the loss of customers. Hiroyuki Sato, 33, the store sales manager, said Go-To Eat ends earlier than I expected, and closing at 10 p.m. is honestly tough. He said that he would refrain from opening a new store with more private rooms next month, emphasizing safety, saying, "The iron plate is hot and the ventilation is strong. I couldn't withdraw from the contract before Corona. It's painful, but I have to do it," he said. Aichi Prefecture will open a PCR testing center for the new coronavirus at CHUBU Airport, Tokonami City, Aichi Prefecture, on the 30th. This is the second domestic airport following Narita Airport that has a testing lab and can issue a negative certificate in about 3 hours after sample collection. The PCR center was set up at the airport clinic operated by the school corporation Fujita Gakuen, Toyowaki City, the same prefecture. The maximum capacity is about 100 per day, and the inspection fee include one certificate. 38,500 yen inspections are conducted by appointment only from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 7 days a week. CHUBU Central Airport operates 7 international flights a week in Manila, Seoul, and Taipei, and will resume flights to Singapore from December. Negative lighting is required in some countries before departure, which will improve convenience for travelers. The government plans to establish Digital Day to promote the digitalization of Japan, which Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga advocates January 1, October 10, November 11, etc. are candidates because digital technology processes information in a binary system using 0 and 1. The aim is to deepen the understanding of the people and boost the momentum over the digital agency, which aims to be established in September next year. The Digital Reform Idea Box on the website will solicit opinions on dates and commemorative events until December 11. Takuya Hirai, the minister in charge of digital reform, emphasized at the press conference on the 27th, "I want to make it an anniversary to promote digital with the public and private sectors." However, he denied that it was difficult to make it a holiday. Defendant Anri Kawai, 47, a member of the House of Councilors who was elected for the first time in the House of Councilors election in July last year regarding defendant Anri Kawai's second public secretary, Hiroshi Tatemichi, 55, the first small court of the Supreme Court, Judge Katsuri Yamaguchi, has decided to dismiss the defendant's appeal by the 25th date, the first and second trial decisions with a suspended sentence of 5 years and 1 year in prison will be finalized. The prosecution has filed an indictment against the standing defendant as being subject to the joint system and is expected to file an administrative lawsuit in the Hiroshima High Court seeking invalidation by the end of the year. If the prosecution's allegations are accepted and confirmed, Henry will lose his job. According to the judgment of the first and second trials, in July last year, the defendant was handed a total of 2.04 million yen to 14 on-board athletes and paid a remuneration exceeding the legal limit. The trial of Henry's large-scale acquisition case, held at the Tokyo District Court, is expected to be handed down at the beginning of the year. Henry has pleaded not guilty, but he will also lose his job if he is sentenced to a fine or higher in his own trial. The Alpine Skiing World Cup was held in Lech, Austria on the 27th, and the men's parallel round 1 was held. KATO did not advance to the final tournament with the top 16 players and finished 41st. Alexis Pinturault, France, has won his first victory of the season and his 30th World Cup victory. Wizards, to which Rui Hachimura belongs at the American Basketball Association, NBA, announced the schedule of 3 preseason matches on the 27th after his first match against Nets on December 13 in New York. He will face Pistons on 17 and 19 in his hometown of Washington. The 2020-21 season is scheduled to begin on December 22nd. Keisuke Honda, a former Japan national team MF of Botafogo in the first division of the Soccer Brazil League, has expressed distrust of the team after the newly appointed coach Raymond Diaz was dismissed on the 27th. Posted on Twitter is unbelievable in English. If the team doesn't convince me within a few days, I want to start thinking about leaving. Botafogo announced on the 5th that it will welcome former Argentine national team Diaz, who was the first top scorer in the J-League. However, Diaz was unable to stand on the ground due to the surgery, and the team led by the acting director lost 4 consecutive games. According to local media, Honda has a contract until February next year. Botafogo continues to be sluggish this season and is second division relegation zone. Only after February of this year, when Honda transferred, he became the 4th director to change. And that's all for today. See you tomorrow for another news update.